don't care what profession you're in, you got to work at it. And you mentioned having a difficult coach. Difficult coaches make us better. And you know that coach cares. It's not always because it's easy or they like you. That something has to be important to you to be successful. I love the fact that you took an ad in the paper, the ripple effect that you got your job at a summer camp, then you took another ad. I guess it was the Hulk ad. Was that the Westminster's
Yeah,
paper?
yeah, what was it called?
The Hulk ad.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was like
Yeah,
every
I
other
cut
week, right?
yes, yeah, it
Yeah.
was every other week.
Okay.
I cut it out. Why it was probably in the Newcastle paper too,
Okay.
but I remember cutting it out. I'll still remember that and giving it to him, and he's looking at me and like, yeah, that changed everything. Yes.
From an ad in the paper to a Hall of Famer. I think that's awesome. And I love the fact that you said you had supportive parents. I think that's great. I think too many times you hear the extreme where mom and dad did everything or mom and dad didn't care. You said that one of the mantras that you wanted to have and always be said about your teams, which I think is awesome, says we play harder than any other team. I remember the coveted award at basketball camp was the Hustle Award.
Mhm.
And there was one that I was in the finals for called King Ball Handling. I did not win that, but the award that I got of all my tennis trophies and baseball stuff, one of my most prized possessions was 1977 in basketball camp, best defensive player. And I thought, yeah, two-way player. So, I was better at
Ex
defense than offense.
Exactly, yeah, yeah, that was and I remember the Hustle Award too, and we took that real serious as
Sure.
coaches working at camp, who is really deserving of that. We
Yeah.
did not wanna give it to someone that
Yeah.
didn't always work hard.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Richie Haltunen won it one year when I wasn't there. I think that's awesome. You mentioned two mentors, two coaches, Bernie Matthews and Coach Ron Galbraith. Great ripple effect there. And one of the last things you said was get excited about what you do. I don't know how any successful person could be successful without having passion, being excited what they do.
Yeah,
But
I agree, and that's my goal with my players is that because then they'll work on their own, then they'll spend time, then they'll care more about it because they really want to do it, and
yeah,
yeah, I agree with that
yeah,
wholeheartedly.
yeah. I'm sure you're familiar with the quote that coach slash teacher perfects eternity. Nobody knows where the influence stops.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate the influence you had on me and some of the successful things that I've achieved just because of the daily discipline and stuff I learned from the Titan Tyson from you. So again,
Well,
coach,
thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. My coaching is I still love it. I'm sure as much as I ever did. The when I was interviewed for my job back at Greensburg Salem 2 years ago, it was an unfair interview because there were 5 people and 2 of them played for me. They were principals now, but they were my players. And the superintendent came to all our games. He wasn't a superintendent then. And I can remember the new AD sitting there thinking like, geez, I better vote for this guy because, it's like they love him.
yeah,
But yeah, it's but they asked me, I said, "Do you have an exit plan?" Of course, I guess when 71 or so whatever it was, 70, 71 at the time, and I said, "No." And someone asked me this past year, they said, "How long are you gonna continue to do this?" And I said 2 things. Number 1 is if Greensburg doesn't want me anymore, I'm never gonna be that guy that, I'm gonna battle, fight, you don't want me, I don't wanna be there. Just someone call me, whisper to me, "Coach, you know what? We think it's time. I will resign, retire." And number 2, I tell them, "I'm gonna coach here until either you don't want me or I can't find the gym anymore." And I don't know when I can't find the
yeah,
gym, then maybe it
yeah,
is time for me
yeah,
to retire.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
That's awesome. Well, I hope you coach many
thank you.
more years, and I've enjoyed the internet letting me follow along with your teams.